Hi everybody, Gagan here, and welcome to my How to Lab tutorial. And this is Seine Rush, and I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts on how to be most effective with the lav, because I find that many teammates who get the lav at the beginning of the game are not very effective, and even when I'm defending, attackers who get the lav are not very effective. So right off the start, I'm going to give you a big don't. So many people do this. They park the lav right here and they spam A. And there's no enemies in there, and while you're doing this, the entire opposing team has just crossed the street, entered the B room and set up. Here's what you need to do. Don't stop, keep going, and hit these guys as they're crossing the street. Look at, I'm almost running over this guy. I'm going to try and kill as many of them as I can. I'm going to try and turn around as many of them as I can. And my job is just to prevent bodies from crossing the street, getting into the B room, and setting up on bipods with health packs and spawn beacons and tugs. Stop as many as you can. This is so important that I'm showing it again. As soon as I get in, I don't even wait for teammates, I just go. And I have to get in there, and I have to stop these guys from crossing the street. Because if they all get in there, I've wasted it. The lav is now wasted. It won't do anything for the most part to the people in that room. Just start killing. Just drive it right down on there. You're probably going to get some RPGs. You might have some guys with javelins. And of course you're going to get greedy C4 guys. But if you've got reactive armor and you move around, see, I took a couple C4. But if I lose the lav in this process, it's okay, because it spawns in our deployment where the attacking team can't get it, and that's the only time in the game that you're safe that way, so use it to your advantage. It's alright. When trying to blast into B, some people actually park this lav right in front of the door and spam that bomb, and while it's going to work if people are anywhere near that bomb, it's really awkward for you to drive, as you can see, just the difficulty I'm having getting in this position. And you are not going to be able to see what is directly above you. So yeah, you can spam this bomb, but it's not a great idea because it leaves you so vulnerable to almost anything else. It also blocks your teammates from getting in there, which is not a good thing. Don't say I didn't warn you. This is what's going to happen if you put yourself right there. Don't let that be you. Now this is the most effective thing I've found to do. Once you've kind of held them back on this main road and A is gone, you just have to worry about trying to land hits on B. So I actually will back this thing in this way beside this fountain or whatever this thing here on the right is, so I can see right inside this door. And yeah, my back end is facing the opponent, but I can see them if they're up in the windows or if they're trying to come through that door. And from this position, if someone tries to get me from the front or from that side there, I can see him and I can move quickly. This part is important, so I want to show it again. I want to talk about proper positioning of this lab so you can keep it. You can keep the pressure on the opponents who are going to be near that bomb at B, and you can be most effective, because just driving around the street, you'll get kills and you might cut some people off from actually getting in there, but you don't actually have an effect on what's happening around the MCOM and inside that room there. This is the best position to do something about that, while still being somewhat safe for yourself and giving your team a chance to just pull this off. And because it's so hard to set the bomb once it is set, do your best to keep your lav right there, pound that thing and get any kills you can, because if they defuse it, there's a good chance that you're not going to get in there and do it again. You need to get this out of the way, otherwise the game is going to be over fairly quickly. And you can see that even though I can't see them, I'm doing some damage there, because people are going to lie down as they try to defuse it. So you don't want to actually aim at an opponent, you want to aim at an area and let that splash damage do the work. And with those out of the way, let's move on to the second set of MCOMs and how you need to approach those in this lab. When it's time to move up, I don't actually head down the street yet. I'll poke out and I'll spot and I'll see mines, and I'll start trying to spam, you know, the two towers here and these cement walls that people tend to hide behind. And I'll even stay there a little bit just to give a target to those people so I can see where they're firing javelins or RPGs from, because I can always pillar this building and get repaired if I need to. And with the infantry pushing up first, I don't have to worry about getting hit from behind for the most part, though it does happen occasionally. Once I've pounded A quite a bit and taken away a lot of their cover, I'll go up the second alley, because it gives me a different position at A, and also I can see into their deployment across the river, and of course anybody who's sticking their nose out there on a bipod or just trying to make a nuisance of themselves. Spotting, and you can see there they are, that left side. These guys are trying to get behind me, all the way over there, and because I'm over here now, they have a ways to go. I don't have to worry about somebody C4ing me. I just have to worry about RPGs and javelins coming across the river, but because they're going to be fired from across the river, quite the distance, I'll be able to get back if I need to. And I already took a blast, but that's okay. Positioning your lab here actually helps your team get B pretty early because you can blast them as they're across the river in their deployment. The defenders who are spawning on that far side there will gravitate to A naturally, so picking those ones across the river there off helps your infantry work B. And it's just a matter of watching out for anybody who's going to try and be sneaky like that guy. So now that they've said A, it's spam time, and you'll do a lot of spamming with the lab, but that's okay because that's kind of why it's there. And you can see that I'm using the LMG as my secondary because I don't have to worry about any armor against me. I don't need any anti-tank shells or anything else, and I generally run this regardless of what map I'm on because LMG is pretty handy. There is a second position I like to take with my lab on this set of MCOMs that can really benefit your team because you basically run the risk of losing your lab, but you present such a target that a lot of the attention of the defending team is going to come your way, and that's basically parking it on this bridge. I can still spam the MCOM A, but I also can spam behind that container there where a lot of guys like to hide out when they're engaging your infantry. And then of course anybody who's just coming out to that alley over there. So from this position you are closer to their close deployment to the right of me here, but you don't have to worry so much about it. You can always back up of course, but there is a tow directly in front of where my nose of my lab is, but nobody's made their way there yet, so just keep that in mind if you're in this position. And just picking off these guys, spam across the road, and people just entering the fray are going to be met with some splash damage from your big gun here. On the third set of MCOMs, you actually can do quite a bit of damage here. You can fire up into B, as you can see, wipe out anybody that's actually in there. You can also fire in this little cubby hole that people tend to try and hide in, and also watch the launcher. You can also pick people off of the launcher. You can also robo-kill if you fire along all these buildings here. So anybody that's, oh look at that, trying to plant explosives, probably a bad idea. Anybody that's actually trying to hide out above that area there, you can start bringing building down upon them. Just watch the launcher, it's your biggest threat. On this set of MCOMs, you gotta watch for people who are gonna try and ambush you. And they're usually gonna come from this side. They're gonna try and maybe set a spawn beacon in there, they're gonna try and jump you from that hallway. They're gonna come from A and down through there if your team's not strong enough to hold them at A. And they are going to try to take you out. You'll get mines, you'll get C4, you'll get the RPGs, and you'll get these guys around the corner here. See, I'm looking at B right now, but my gunner's prox can is picking up these guys, and that's why I'm gonna blast these guys out of here first. If you can be careful to avoid these suicide guys who just definitely want to remove you, you'll have no problems protecting B once B gets set, because you're not going to be able to get in there yourself. But once it's set, you'll be able to blast everybody off that bomb. So even though I have the reactive armor and my gunner has the proximity scan and we're pretty good, I'm still pretty cautious on this set of bombs because there's a lot of approaches that the enemy can take to get to you. But because I have this proximity sensor, I will actually drive up to about that position, maybe back a little further, and see what I can pick up on the minimap. And you can see there's somebody trying to do his C4 dance. And it's not going to work. Poor fella. Somebody else there, I don't know where that guy came from. But generally, if I can't see where the enemies are, I'll poke my head up there, see what comes up in the proc scan, and then quickly get out. And now that we've set the bomb, it's just spam time. We just spam this guy and rack up the kills. People run in there trying to defuse it. And even though they might eliminate our squad or our team that actually got in there to do the set, it's just easy enough for me and my gunner here to clean up the remains and make sure that whoever died trying to get that set gets their 500 points. Spam, spam, spam. If you're picking up the lab at the spawn and coming into the set of objectives late, you don't necessarily need to have to go all the way up the street to hit B. On this instance I've got here, you can see that they've set the bomb. All I have to do is bring it up on the bridge and get the correct angle, and then I can spam this thing. I can spam it, and I don't have to worry about anybody coming down to get me because they'd have to come all the way into our deployment to do so. And there's chances that they would just run into our guys deploying after they've been killed. So I'll just spam these things here and make short work of everybody on the bomb, and in some ways this angle is even better than when you're close. It is pretty tricky because you can't actually really get a good angle from the street here. I can spam around the bomb, and if there's people standing in that courtyard area, they're going to get splash damage, they're going to get killed. And if you have a really good angle, you can kind of hit the outside of the container that has the bomb, but you're not going to do too much damage from here. If you do push up to this point, you have to be really careful because you cannot see the angles these guys are going to be coming from. And while I can provide a really good spawn point for my teammates, I'm really vulnerable. You can see I took one in the back already, so I'll come up here and cut off anybody that is going to try and come down behind me. But I really need to get my my ass end protected here. It's not safe people coming in that little hallway to the right of me. So I'll actually go up here and I'll turn my lab around because they can't really attack from up here. So if I have my butt facing this way, I should be okay. But even from this position, while I'm relatively safe, I'm still not going to inflict a lot of damage and help my teammates actually set that bomb. It's more of just back rage control at this point, just making sure that my guys who are trying to push through that bomb don't get jumped from behind. And it's not really a sustainable position for me here. I prefer to be actually up on B, preventing the bad guys from coming through from their deployment to A. But if you do end up in this position, this is the angle you should probably be taking in order to prevent yourself from being hurt. And then of course it leaves yourself open to the opponent actually coming down from B and getting in this little hallway. So while I'm going to kill a few guys in here, I actually prefer to be back on that top road. Now there is a way that you can help your teammates on A here, but it comes at great risk to yourself. And basically you have to get in there, and you can see that I'm just spamming in here looking for hit markers. And when I deem it safe, well, I just go. I hit the gas, up we go, and now all their attention is on me. You can see that they probably did not expect that from happening. Luckily our guys got the bomb. I am just spamming inside that container, and I am taking a lot of hits. You can see these guys, they're just coming right out after me. But knowing that we've got the bomb set, I'm not going to even try to save this lab. I'm just going to try and kill anybody up there that is going to try and get down onto this bomb. And luckily for me, I have a couple good engineers on my team, and they jumped out and actually got me back together here. I was a goner. I was done, but we've got the bomb here, and now it's just a matter of clearing out any stragglers and turning my lab around and getting back onto that main road. So while I turn it around here, gotcha! Minimap awareness is so important, and when I see people approaching me from behind, I know it's C4, I'll wait and then I'll hit the gas and kill them. The fourth set of MCOMs is like the first set. You have one really difficult one and one really easy one, and now the easy one is A and the difficult one is B. And what I have to do when I attack these ones is just to pillar this corner here, because a lot of people are going to be waiting for you. You might have guys rushing at you with C4, you might have RPG guys, and there's probably going to be some mines just up along the road there. So once I clear that out, or it's cleared for me, I'll pop up here, and then the next thing I need to look at is the tow. People are probably going to be going for that tow/Cornet launcher. There it is, see, they're going to try and knock you off, stuff's flying at me. And by just backing down the road, I can change their angle of attack just enough that I can usually get away from their shot. But they will come back. As you can see, they're coming quite heavy. I won't rush the bomb until I know I've got enough infantry up there to support me. And watching the tow again, and EOD bot, you gotta watch for those too, so there's one coming. Now, backing all the way down the road is safe if you don't have people trying to hijack your lab. They might wait there till it blows up and take it, so I actually will go down this area, because people can't wait and bide their time trying to steal your lab from this side. So I can approach from this side, and I can also see my front, but of course it does leave my left side totally vulnerable if the enemy team manages to get out of their deployment on that side. So I'm going to pull up here, bombard that little staircase where people try to come out, and of course the tow missile, and hopefully keep wiping people as they come out of that building, and our team can get A. with your team pushing, you can keep the pressure on these guys and not worry too much about being ambushed. You can slowly approach the bomb, clear off an EC4, and then just you can see inside there, and you can see this guy's got the javelin. I actually like it when people try to javelin me because I can see that nice laser looking right at me, and I know there's only a few positions they can be when they come out of their spawn in this map. Of course, you have to watch out for any kind of mines in C4, but once you move those out of the way, they should be able to put them back. And as you can see, I'm spamming this guy, spamming this guy. And of course, you gotta watch out for these guys. Oh no, C4! Ah! A is really easy. You'll probably get in that no problem. But B is a little more difficult because if you stay in that intersection, you don't have the correct angle to actually remove the people who are behind the counter, behind that bomb man. So what I do for that, get on this road, and I'll back up. And from here I can lob past that bomb into that little alcove, that little counter, and sometimes you'll kill 2 or 3 people in there. From this angle, the toe is not really a problem. You don't have to worry about that. Your main concern is going to be people who are coming from the very left of you, because you're not going to be able to see them until they're around that rubble there, and then it's going to be really close range. You can see that even though I don't really have a lot of people coming in after me, I'm still keeping on the move here. I move back and forth so I'm not a static target, because they're going to be coming out of that bank in their deployment. They don't spawn anywhere else, so I know they're either going to be up on that top level or they're going to be coming out that side door. And so by just going up and down this road, back and forth up this little hill here, I can stay on the move and also watch both bombs. See, now my guy said it, I can spam that bomb. That's not a problem. I can fire into the bank and make life difficult for the defense in there, trying to cut off our teammates coming up the side stairs. And the only thing I really need to worry about is that left side. If we don't have people on that side of the map, then I need to be careful of that left side. And just generally, there he is, javelin, do it. I love javelins because I usually wait and see for them launching, so I know where the guy is, and I'll spam it through the smoke and get the kill. So here we go, we've got our team's pushed up pretty good. I gotta watch that front door and their little side doors spawn, but other than that, like, we're golden here. And it's just a matter of firing in there, getting hit markers, hopefully weakening the people in there so our attacking team can get in there and set that bomb, and even rolling up here and trying to get a good angle on people hiding around the corner near that bomb. And with the proc scan on my my mini map there, I'm not going to have to worry too much about somebody coming from the C4 unless I'm not really paying too much attention. So it's back and forth, being a non-static target, and there it is. Somebody almost had to set. Spam a little bit because if somebody dies just setting, there's usually somebody nearby. And just spam that thing, and look at all those yellow and blue little triangles in there. We got this nailed down. And now once this is set, I will not move my lab. I will spam it, get on the gun, spam it, and just blow anything that's near that bomb out of the way, because if they get a defuse, it's so hard to get that set again. And look, somebody actually came up on me. There, you spoiled my flawless. I hope you're happy. That's it for my how-to lab on Seine. I hope some people can take some stuff away from this and use it to their benefit. See you later. Look at that KD.